4 collars.
Yep. And so you don't need, like right now, like we don't necessarily need both of these on.
Okay.
Right? But for training purposes, I'll just leave them on right now.
Yeah.
Or I can take this one off because,
I'll have
again,
her other one.
there's no safety need here.
Right.
She's already off leash.
Yeah.
Okay, so with our good and our yes, it's like reward activation signals. So we want to communicate to her in the moment of doing good things that she's doing those good things. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So that I.
Excellent. Okay, great. I'll talk to you.
Yeah. That's good.
So,
Between both.
So for communication signals, secondary reinforcers, not commands, they're known as markers. And that's good and yes. Those are the ways you're going to communicate that she's doing the right thing. And so the difference between good and yes is good means stay good, keep doing it. And yes means yes, you're done, or yes, you may.
Okay.
So we only want to use them when she's doing the right thing because it's going to reinforce the behavior strongly and clearly communicate that she's doing the right thing, but there's a different reward experience.
Okay.
So if we were to be putting her on place, I would direct her to go to place. I would help her go to place.
Sure.
And here's how I would help her. Lead her there.
Okay.
Right? If she loves you and you send her away from you, you're punishing her.
Gotcha.
So if you just go with her, hey, place, and you bring her there following whatever
Gotcha.
food,
Okay.
don't point, lead.
Okay.
And when she gets there, the moment she steps up is the moment you say, good. So while she's doing this action, she's getting the signal of, oh, I just activated the reward of what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay. She has to stay there, though, once she goes there.
So you're saying that I can lead her with a piece of treat or
Totally.
whatever, and then give it to her.
Uh-huh. But the reward experience should be initiated by the marker of good.
Good.
Not with the quickly sticking food in her mouth.
Gotcha.
Those days are over. You don't have to rush to put food in her mouth to acknowledge she did the right thing.
Okay.
You say good. And she knows she's likely going to get food or something
Sure.
while she keeps doing the thing that she's doing, in this case, staying on the platform, on the place. So if you didn't have food, you can lead with the leash as well.
Okay.
So you could lead with the leash, with yourself, and with food until she gets here. Good job, and then you can give the food.
Okay.
So the thing about markers is there's a gap between the mark of doing the action, good, and the getting of the reward.
Okay.
So that would be like a 2-second gap between if I was at a distance, she gets there, good, I can bring her the reward. And during the wait between the mark for success and the getting of the reward is an anticipation response.
Okay.
Building of dopamine in anticipation of the reward.
Hence the dopamine.
Yep.
I was
And so once the reward's received, the dopamine crashes. And it comes back again, but the anticipation response is important, and the gap between your marker and the reward is important. So use it that way. So you don't want to be giving the reward as you're saying good.
Gotcha.
You want to separate them and use them together.
Okay. Got it.
And then when you're ready to give permission to be done, you would say yes and give a clear cue signal to go away. So when you say yes, it should be you should be close to her.
Okay.
So if she's on place, I don't want to say yes, even though she'd run to me excitedly and it seems great. What it does over time is it weakens the stability of staying.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you're gonna release her, you would say, walk up to her and say yes from close,
Okay.
and then she's free.
Now,
She can do
what
whatever
would
she
be a
wants.
reason I would want to place her? Like what's a
one-
behavior or whatever? Or what do I do?
For training
Okay.
and teaching an actual communication system. So I'll explain how we used it and how we taught it for training. But why you would want to use it in life is that it allows you to give her something to do.
Okay.
If she's getting into mischief, if she's getting into trouble, if she's hiding out in fear or whatever it is, this is an easy thing to make her do. And making her do something is going to like pull her energy and fixation out of maybe problematic behaviors and center her into something that's reward based. So I'm going to prompt her to go here, and I'm not going to use the remote yet. I'm going to use her name to get her attention and then try to get her to come here. Jazzy, place. Good girl. Did you see how her head perked up?
Yeah.
Place. So her back feet aren't on, and this is where the leash. Good girl. So she's feeling successful, even though her back feet weren't on. Nope. So now, and this is normal, like I should have a leash on, but I'm nagging her that it did. Jazzy, come. Come on. Come here. Good girl. Place. Good. So this is a real low level that I'm communicating to her, but I'm giving her a physical experience that she can't ignore. Whereas she would happily just ignore me
Yeah.
because she wants to be with you.
Great.
So rather than training her to ignore me and repeating my cues with nothing, we want to amplify our communication with the remote.
Okay.
And so for her, as far as she knows, she feels it, and she's hearing me tell her what to do, she knows that she's got to do it basically.
Yeah.
And then it's not going to just have some alternate solution. That
She
this
likes
is the
you.
solution, and the problem is going to actually continue to intensify until she does the right thing, right? So good girl. So the good thing about place is she doesn't have to lay down or sit down or do anything in particular. She simply has to be here. And so that's great because she has like a good amount of freedom, and she has the ability to process some stress through movement. And like if you make her sit or you make her down, you're kind of making her stay still.
Gotcha.
It's harder for her. So if it's harder for her, then she's gonna make more mistakes. And if she makes more mistakes, then you have to correct her more. And so giving her easy stuff to do that has boundaries still allows us to tell her she's such a good girl and give her lots of rewards and lots of affection and whatever else she wants. And then we can also, she has to exercise impulse control. Because when I go away from her, I can say, good, it's almost like stay good. She has to stay there. She's supposed to stay there. If she gets off without permission, it activates something she doesn't want. It deactivates everything she does want. So that's the rule-based, permission-based system. Nope, Jazzy, come. So tell her place and walk her here and guide her to a place.
Jackie? Place. Place. Place.
And say good.
Good.
And then pet her.
Good girl.
And so
Okay. Good.
I used the remote that entire time. As soon as she stepped off without permission, I was tapping and tapping and tapping. It's not a big deal,
Right.
but it's still
It's
registering.
just a reminder to say, pay attention in a way, right?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
what you're doing isn't right. There's something better to do. And then when it goes away and it's no longer felt, she's like, ah, this is the thing to do. And you're also highlighting it by saying good
Good.
and by giving rewards and reinforcement. So
Wow, I
now when you step away, say good as you step away.
Good girl.
Exactly.
Good.
And so she's supposed
Good.
to nope.
No.
Bring her back.
Come on. Place. Come here. Place.
Tell her good.
Good
And
girl.
then step away again.
Good girl.
Good girl.
Good girl.
Now walk back up to her. Not because of the pet, but or the bark. So give her a little love. Now when you're ready, say yes and step away.
Yes.
There we go. So,
Good
so
girl.
see how she can tell she's clearly free.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
in that behavior, I can use the remote for
Okay. Just to
easy
give it-
peasy.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Yep.
'Cause that's what we have a lot of the jumping.
Yep. So it definitely want the remote for that. I know you got a lot of itchy stuff on right now, huh? Let's see here. We're good. So with this technique of place, I'll explain how we taught it, right? So first we started with rewards, and we just say good and give rewards, and yes and give rewards. We don't even do anything at all.
Okay.
Once she's following the food, then we guide her to place. Jazzy, come here, place. Good girl. So you see I kind of line myself up with it? It's like a double draw to the same direction.
Okay.
Good job. I don't know if you want these. Let's see. Will you eat that one? You didn't want one earlier. Oh, good job. Okay. So first we started by introducing the remote
Okay.
to go to place. I'm going to hook her up to a leash.
Sure.
Just to get better control here. Good girl. And this gives this gives like 15 feet for her. So it's kind of like being off leash, but I can still activate control like right there. I add the remote, I guide back to place. So I didn't even say anything. I let the leash do the experience do the talking, the leash do the talking, the remote do the talking. What are they saying to her? They're saying that impulsively breaking place doesn't just get you what you want. The reward that you're hopefully going to achieve or you're seeking, it doesn't outmatch the risk. How are we giving risk to the equation? The pinch collar pressure and the remote collar pressure. So she's breaking rewards to whatever, do what she wants, and it just doesn't pay. It's a penalty. So then she finds it better to be here. Because here, it's safe from anything uncomfortable, and it's the place that activates rewards. So it just makes it as clear as possible. So when we're training her initially, we're having the remote on 1%, which is imperceivable to humans. So most people don't think the dogs can feel it, but they do. It's not painful, it's not punishing, it's not scary, it's just detected.
Okay.
So away from place, we have her not on place. We activate the sensation, and she feels it, she detects it, and we continue it all the way until place, but we guide her to place. So she feels the sensation, we guide her to place. When she gets to place, we remove the sensation, give her a reward. So we'll do that for a few days, only in one way.
Yeah.
Creates a great response to the sensation, right? After that's achieved, this response to the sensation that's biased towards doing the behavior of going to place, now we start actually teaching what a correction is, what a mistake is. So up until this point, there's really no mistakes. There's simply one right answer, and we keep going there. Now we start interrupting her stepping off place. So now all of a sudden, when she steps off place, we simply mark it with a different marker than good and yes. We mark it with a mistake marker, which is nope. And so the moment she steps off, the moment her foot hits the ground, we say nope, and we apply the same sensation, and we use the leash to guide her back. And when she gets back, it's good again.
You're not expecting her to respond to the nope and the pressure. You still have to bring her there.
Correct. Okay. And because the nope hasn't been experienced yet, we're actually conditioning the response that we will expect her to respond to later through these repetitions. And the pressure of the remote is non-existent at this point. It's detected and it's not pressure yet. So the leash is the form of pressure that we're using to guide, and we do remove the pressure here. But in this phase, the remote isn't even the form of pressure. So as she familiarizes this mistake experience over and over and over, impulsively stepping off, hearing nope, getting this, going back, getting rewarded, over and over and over and over, it starts to kind of familiarize over a few days. Again, this is at low level. Once it's familiarized, now we simply go from 3%, which is considered pure positive, 1%, 2%, 3%, non-aversive. Now we simply just go to 4% in the same experience. So you step off, it's the same thing, we still say no, we still press the remote, we still guide you back, but she's feeling it a little teeny bit more intense. And we kind of develop her to higher levels in this same way. So with increasing mistakes, we add increasing intensity.
Only when she's making a mistake.
Correct. So every time she makes the mistake, we add the remote and the mistake signal, and we help her back to the solution where it's resolved, and we reward her. And so that over time safely allows us to kind of control the level of challenge she's under, so she can get the right kind of like ratio of mistakes and success. We're still nurturing that she's doing the right thing, but we're still correcting her for making the mistake.
Since Denise is going on vacation, you're not going to have the cot always available if there's a mistake. Where could she bring her?
Well, you can use a different elevated surface. So you could do it on a stump or a log or a bench or a rock
like camping and
or a chair. Totally. Okay. So here's what you have to keep in mind first about that. Is initially she may not understand what you're talking about when you say place.
Right.
She may actually be afraid to get on it. So don't just expect her to comply.
Right.
So start with rewards. Get her to discover this is a good place. You can say place, you can guide with the leash, you can hop her up there. If it's big and you can get up with her, that's easy. It's like, okay, I'll hop up there with you. Yeah. But then you get off and you hold her accountable for braking, and then it'll kind of click. But you can also use obedience in the form of sit and in the form of down. Mm-hmm. So if you want to make her have her own internal rule set of got to keep doing the thing, and if you forget about it, you're going to get corrected back to it. Place is the easy one. Sit is a little harder, but you can still do that. Okay.
I was just thinking like at a wayside or, you know.
Yeah, totally. And so basically the way we use place is more in the beginning stages. And as that allows for us to practice impulse control and this permission-based system in challenging
We'll just wait till Tilly comes out.
Yeah, that's what I want you to have. Oh, yeah. The interaction with the other two dogs.
Great. We'll do that. And we'll get a little more room away from the table when we do that. And I'll start with her being free, and then I can use this as a place to go to if needed. Where were we? The mistake signal. So as we go through this process, we're deliberately adding challenge to the equation. Because as we turn up the consequence for making the mistake, she gets better at not making the mistake. And as she gets better at not making the mistake, we turn up the challenge so she makes more mistakes. And that's a way to kind of gradually develop her sensation to real levels that you'll use in life.
She's not like a puppy anymore.
So that is kind of like how we taught the markers and place and the remote collar, and how we kind of taught it to her in a non-confusing way. Okay. So this is going to be the easiest way for you to learn it yourself.
Okay.
So it's a lot to do to the right words at the right time with the right movements and the right leash stuff and the right remote. It's like a lot, right? So the easiest thing to practice is what I explained how we taught her. So you can just activate the remote, guide her with the leash, put her onto place, deactivate and reward. And if you do that at a 1, 2, or 3% on the remote, she's not going to be like, oh no. She's going to be like, oh, do the thing.
Okay.
Right? So that allows you to practice with every single repetition your timing. And we'll practice before I go. So
Okay.
I'll hold the remote, you do or I'll hold the collar, you hold the remote. We'll do this little troubleshooting game, or not even troubleshooting, training, whatever.
Right.
But then you would want to do it with her.
Okay.
And so I'll demonstrate now the sit in the same thing. So we use the same language, the same markers, the same for all behaviors. So if she's to break place, we say nope. If she breaks sit, we say nope. If she breaks down, we say nope. Right?
Nope.
Breaking
Yes,
obedience
good.
command is a mistake. We mark it as a mistake.
Okay.
If she goes right back to the behavior, good. If she doesn't, we'll help her.
Okay.
How will we help her? We'll help her with the leash guidance. If it's place and she broke, the leash will guide her to place. We can tell her the answer to the problem. Literally, place or sit. So the leash guidance to sit is different than place. The leash guidance to sit is directly up. You would lift up on the leash.
Okay.
Not back, not over the angle, just straight up. And as soon as she complies, you release the pressure. The leash guidance for a down is going to be actually downwards.
Okay.
Right? So you can kind of guide her with pressure. And it's like not quite comfortable to stand or sit, but as soon as you lay down, ta-da, it's all good in the down. Okay, so I'll actually demonstrate the down. She's not great at down yet. We added it in at the end. But still she has enough to use the communication for it. You're cheating. You're reading my mind. I was going to ask her to down and show you with the leash, but she did. So, okay, so I'm going to release her from place right here.
Okay.
Yes? See how she just snaps out of
Yeah,
that?
she
Okay,
sure
there's that
did.
clarity, right? So now I'll ask for a sit, but I'm going to say her name first. You don't have to say her name before commands, but it lets her tune in a little more. She's ADHD brain, and so you can throw out commands, and they don't quite register. So if you want them to register more,
Get their
sometimes
attention.
leading with the name can help. So, Jazzy, sit. Good girl. So that was just her complying to the cue, and I marked it for success with the word good. But now I'm moving a little bit. So this represents some challenge for her, right? Will she stay sitting? Will she stay good? Good girl. Well, she is so far, right? So I can help her stay sitting by saying good. Good. Good girl. And then I can release her with yes. And now she's free. Yes. Good girl. Now, if she were to break the sit, though, I want to promptly get her back to the sit.
Right.
I don't want a whole bunch of running around and a bunch of other behaviors.
Sure.
So how would I correct her back to the sit? I would do the leash. I would do this. Sit. Good. Come here. Sit. Good girl. So in the sit, eligible for rewards, nothing uncomfortable. Breaking the sit equals a correction. So if we catch the correction, we mark it. If it's way past, we just tell her what to do, give her the command, and follow through with the communication. So you kind of have multiple languages to say the same thing. So the way to say sit would be leash pressure up, or hand signal like this up, or the word sit. So you got all those ways, and then the remote paired to those communications is going to amplify your messaging. So if I ask for the down, so now I'm going to use leash pressure down. So a little bit of pressure there. Down. Good. Nope. Down. It's easier for her on place.
Sure.
So I'm just going to help her. Down. Good girl. Very good. Very good. So it was tough for her to do it on the grass, and we've been only working on downs on
Sure.
place.
Okay.
But the point is, we got to get it if we ask for it. And so I just kind of helped her, and once she got it, we give her a good, right? I'm going to release her right now. Yes.
Okay.
And I'll practice actually on place. Place. Good. This serves as a great place to practice like downs, for instance. So now, down. I give a little leash guidance. Good. No remote needed. She's doing it. She got acknowledged. But now that I put her in down and she's doing it successfully, I have to make sure she doesn't break down. She's not allowed to break the obedience command without permission. So I either got to kind of keep an eye on her so I can mark her mistake and quickly correct her back, or I should release her so I don't have to, and she can't just release herself with success. So I can go ahead and say, yes. And right now she's a little tired. She's just, I'm going to just chill. So yes is not a command.
Sure.
I don't want to make her do something when I say yes.
Right.
But if I wanted her to come to me and I thought yes might do it and it didn't, my next recourse could be a couple things. I could either kind of gently grab her collar and kind of prompt her, like, yes, just that little gesture alone. Or I could call her to me as like a commanded recall. So we'll practice this a little bit. Let's go to the shade, yeah?
I know, that's why I stepped in.
I'm like,
And then when she gets here, yeah, say good and you give her pets, right? So a simple thing, I'm going to back you up on a remote.
Okay.
So if she makes a mistake, I'm going to be giving her some e-collar sensation.
Okay.
You can work on kind of communicating to her. So first thing I kind of want you to do is, and you can actually, that dull tension on her collar is okay. So you don't have to lock it. So you can just let it be.
Let it be.
Yep. So take a few steps back, but watch her. If she steps off, mark it with nope and bring her back. And if she doesn't break, then say good.
Good.
And then you can walk up, give her a little pet.
Good girl.
And then you can next time take like double the steps back.
Good. Good girl. No.
Bring her back.
Nope.
The remote's on.
Up. Place.
There
Place.
we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And now one thing to keep in mind for correcting her back is instead of walking right up to the edge where it's really awkward to pull her that last bit, walk past it
Oh, okay.
and kind of guide her on.
Okay.
You can even pull her from afar towards, but just a lot of, makes sense to do, but it doesn't make sense on the body.
Oh, that's true.
So now walk farther away. And so it's common for, she's like, okay, mom's here, I'm going to follow mom. Say, oh, okay, I guess it's mom's got rules too now. So you had one correction.
Yep.
Now she's not even thinking about breaking.
Yep.
So this is kind of a way, yeah, sure, come on back. And you can,
Good girl.
yeah. So if you want to release her, you say the magic word and kind of almost like you got food in your hand and you're presenting to her face. That's like the ultimate, yes,
Yes.
boom, exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Move your body. There we go.
Yes. Come. It's okay.
Perfect, exactly.
Good girl.
So that's a good problem when she's, are you sure? I can break, are you really sure? Really sure? So it's a lot better than do everything with no thought.
It's really good girl.
So now why don't you say her name, ask for a sit, and then lift up on the leash if she doesn't comply.
Jazz, sit.
Okay, say good, yep.
Good.
Now all you gotta do is watch her breaking the sit. So as long as she's holding the sit, she's good. As soon as she breaks the sit, you mark it and add that
no.
pressure up. Add the
No.
pressure up.
Up.
Yep. No worries. You did the right thing with the leash. And so you can practice taking just one step back and say good, come back after that. Yep. And now, yep.
Good girl.
And then and 2 steps. Yep. And then come, no.
No. Sit.
Yep, that's fine.
Good
So
girl. Good girl.
check it out. Bring her to place. Say place and walk her to place.
Place.
And now ask her to sit.
Sit. Sit.
There we go.
Good girl.
Now when you step back, if you have her practice her sits and her downs on place, it's far less likely that she's going to break and come to you.
Gotcha.
So
Oh, sure.
we want to make it, when she comes to you good, we don't want to be correcting her over and over for coming to you. So this is a
girl.
stable way to practice a sit or a down without confusing the recall.
Good girl. Stay.
You can say stay, it's fine. Yep. See how she's thinking about it, but she's stopping herself. Right? You see her thinking about it? And so she's overriding the impulse, the strong desire to just break place and come to you. That's her own work invisibly and internally, that she's applying the brakes. And
Good job.
that like impulse control or breaking the no-go circuitry, it requires a lot of energy to actually do. So we always think of like energy more as like in doing stuff.
Yeah.
But we
Sometimes-
want
yeah.
the mental friction of not doing stuff is fatiguing in a good way, right? So it creates a healthy mind. The calmness that you see is because she's had to practice it a lot. So the thing about obedience, such as place, such as sit, such as down, but particularly place,
She heard.
I know.
Still, no, but she's still doing it.
exactly.
She heard them.
So with the dog that you know is going to be a problem, making her lay down would be an insane challenge, and it would be a dumb thing for me to ask for. And if I was going to either see it, either
Yes.
I'm not going to see it
Yes.
through,
Yes.
and it loses value,
Good girl.
or I'm going to force her to comply, and I'll have to use so much pressure it'll actually suppress her and make her fearful and just kind of shut down.
Yeah.
That'll be, and then when she comes out of that, she'll be turbo again, and I'll have like two polar opposite kind of dogs I'm communicating to. So I like to give a dog something that's fair for them to do in that level of challenge, and place for a long time can be the thing that they can do in any circumstance, even socially. So when the dog's around, maybe I don't ask for a down.
Great.
I'll ask for a sit, which is easier to enforce with a leash,
Okay.
or I'll ask for place, which allows for movement
Sure, she can move around
and clear boundaries. So another thing too about place allows you to give corrections for some, like if it's a dog that's eliciting behavior that should be corrected, you don't want them thinking the dog is the reason of the correction.
Gotcha.
So if you put them on place and they break place because of the dog, they don't think it's the dog causing the correction. They think, oh, oops, I stepped off place. Dog, go back. So we're accessing this conditioned response that we built up rather than just shocking them around a dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You want to get the other